Hey guys, Super Sarah here. So I'm going to be doing another different type of video. The more that I spend time on YouTube watching videos, the more I find that people really like comic books and horror stuff. Now, I'm not going to do the comic book stuff now. I'll do that later. And it's going to be a really short video because I don't have a whole lot of comic books. I haven't been reading a lot. But I do have a little bit of a horror side to me. So when I was a kid growing up, my parents, they were young parents, and they didn't really shelter us in terms of like movies and things that we watched. I was totally the kid who got to watch rated R stuff as a kid. I really enjoyed all kinds of stuff. And I didn't get scared the way that most people did. In fact, this is so funny. The Leprechaun, Gremlins, Critters, Arachnophobia, I found them all to be funny. I thought they were comedies, not horror movies. I would have put them in the category of like Shaun of the Dead than I would have put them in the same categories like Jaws or Nightmare on Elm Street. Even Chucky I found funny. I did really like Friday the 13th and Halloween though, the old ones. Really enjoyed those movies as a kid. But I didn't really get scared. And I actually have this weird thing where when I see somebody get like their arm cut off or their leg cut off, I giggle. It's just one of those things. I find it funny. And my parents let me watch that kind of stuff. So when I was little, cartoons like Ren and Stimpy, I found hilarious. I loved Ren and Stimpy. When I was really little, I liked Care Bears and Strawberry Shortcake and My Little Pony. And then when I got a little bit older, it was X-Men, Spider-Man. Those were my favorites. I did like the Ninja Turtles and I did like Batman. And, you know, whatever other cartoons, I'm sure I watched them, were really exciting. And then my dad got a Super Nintendo. And I got addicted to his Super Nintendo. So all through elementary school, I was the kid whose friends would come over and either immediately or at least some point when they were over at my house, I would be like, hey, let's play PlayStation or let's play Super Nintendo. And nobody wanted to play with me, at least for not a long period of time, because I was always better than everybody else because that's what I did all the time. And then I got into reading. This was still elementary school, so, you know, before I was 10. I read the Goosebumps books, which I always found kind of corny, kind of cheesy. And I think it's because I was already watching adult level horror stuff that, you know, I was a fan, but I wasn't really into it. And then I got into the Animorph books. And for those of you who know what the Animorph books are, I have no idea what it'd be like to go back and experience those as an adult. I watched the TV show, but I wasn't as into it. The main character in the TV show, actually, I want to say his name was Jake, in the Animorphs the Animorph TV show, ended up going on to play Iceman in the X-Men movie. So if you guys ever want to see something that he was in when he was younger, you guys can check those out. But they were kind of superhero-esque. But I had, I think, 14. I think I had 1 through 14, and then like the Andalite Chronicles. So funny. I was really into these books. And then my father reads Stephen King. So he started letting me read his books. He actually gave me some of them. And I really liked Stephen King. So that's kind of where this horror thing kind of started going. So The Shining, I watched that movie so many times, I can't even tell you. There's just all of them. Carrie, we watched Carrie. I remember having a sleepover birthday party in elementary school. And my parents letting us watch The Shining and Carrie, like back to back, while we fell asleep. And that was cool. I had the cool young parents who let us do stuff like this, and I really enjoyed it. That's probably part of why I'm who I am today. I was never scared. I don't ever remember having a nightmare. I don't remember ever seeing anything that like really frightened me. So I got my PlayStation. I want to say I was 11 or 12. It was during Christmas, so I think it was the Christmas right before I turned 12. And we actually have it on video. If I ever if I ever get in the mood, I will somehow convert that onto YouTube and let you guys watch. We had unboxed all of our stuff from Santa and our parents, and I was really bummed because the thing that I really wanted was the PlayStation. And I was trying not to be mad. Like in the video, you know, I'm still smiling and kind of sitting off to the side, trying not to be bummed. But I just felt like I had been, I felt like I kind of got skipped. Like, okay, I didn't get what I really wanted for Christmas. This kind of sucks. Well, my parents did a little, they put gel candles around the house with little notes, and they kind of stuck me on a little hunt around the house, and it led me back to my bedroom where my PlayStation was sitting there with a couple of games. And then the next day or a few days after Christmas, my dad and I went shopping, and I got another game. So these are some games from my childhood that kind of, like, I guess kind of warped me into what I'm really liking. What was the first one? So this, and this is the actual copy that I had as a kid. Never got rid of it. I've kept this thing forever. In my strategy guide, my little, not strategy guide, my book manual. Look how thick this thing is. This, I guess you needed to play this game back then. I have no idea. Anyway, so this was a game that we went and picked up. Metal Gear Solid. Sorry about the glare. But yes, loved this game so much. I actually thought about getting the Foxhound done on my other wrist, which I will get to, and I just never went back to get more tattoos, but loved this game. The games that I got with my PlayStation, let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. My first Tomb Raider game, and again, this is the actual game that I played as a kid. And see, I took really good care of my games. There are a couple that got busted up when my children got a little bit older and started getting into everything. And the book's not as big as the Metal Gear Solid one. But the Metal Gear Solid one is 2 discs. Now, I played these games so much that I am like a walking strategy guide still for these. Like, I know right after you beat Sniper Wolf is when you have to insert disc 2. Like, right after that. Before you even get to go down into the next building. So, when I was in elementary school, everyone knew, anyone who had ever come to my house knew that I played a lot of video games. But when I was in middle school, like over half of the kids that I went to middle school with were new. And my video game obsession, like I already knew it was kind of weird. I didn't go out of my way to like let people know that I was playing. And it wasn't until a couple of kids in my history class started talking about being stuck on Metal Gear Solid, and we had a discussion that it kind of came out that I was playing a lot. One of the other games that I had was this one, and I actually had this on the Super Nintendo. And this case actually has a crack. It's a small one, but this is one of the ones. Yeah, you guys can see it right there. This is one of the ones that got banged up a little bit because I was not smart enough to hide all of my stuff. And again, there's a bunch of glare. You guys can see my superhero Funko Pops. Anyway, loved this game. This was one of those games that nobody wanted to play with me. And after a few matches, they were done. Oh, it's awesome. So there's a few of my games. So I loved my games. I thought they were awesome, but I still had never found anything that was really scary to me. And then my aunt, who I think just mostly plays World of Warcraft now, and I'm honestly not sure that she even still plays that, she was playing the Resident Evil games. So the first Resident Evil game I ever played was Nemesis. And I have that one. Where is that one? Here it is. So this is my copy of Nemesis that I've had forever. And again, it's the greatest hits. I think the game came out in 99. I believe the greatest hits one came out in like 2002. But I had played her copy of the game first. So here's my game with a little booklet. So I got hooked. I loved this game so much that I had to run out and buy the other two, which I also have. And I have other games too. This is just for the point of this video, I brought these ones up. That's Survivor. Okay, so here's Resident Evil 2, which I also love this game so much. At times, this one's got a huge crack in the case now, but at times I love this game better than I like number 3. And I think it's because it was so much longer and G mutates so many times. It's upside down. But yeah, I love these games. And I actually have this one for my Nintendo 64. Oh my gosh, I love these games. And then the first one, I know I have that one too. I got the director's cut. And again, this case is cracked as well. There's a big crack. It's actually really banged up. But joys of having small children around your collectibles, right? So anyway, I think it was kind of like not just the monsters and the zombies, which I got hooked on zombies after playing this. It was the fact that they all became zombies from a virus. I think that is kind of what scared me. It didn't like terrify me, but I found that to be more interesting and scary than some masked murderer going around killing people or some leprechaun or Chucky. It actually kind of psychologically scared me a little bit. Metal Gear Solid, you know, you had the Fox die, and then the fact that they were cloning and creating all of these guys and nanobots, like that was really interesting to me. So I kind of got into like a sci-fi, and then I kind of got into a horror thing also. And I'm still really into these things. Another Resident Evil game I have is Survivor. I got this one, I believe I was 18. I'm pretty sure I picked this up when I worked at Game Crazy back in the day. So I had access to these types of games. So when people would come in and trade them, I would jump on it and pick them up. So yeah, there's a nice little stack of my games. But I have more. So I got into Stephen King. I got into the Stephen King movies, and then Resident Evil happened, and I became obsessed with zombies. So for a long portion of my life, I was crazy about the old like Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead and just anything with zombies that I could watch, I would find and I would watch. And it started with Resident Evil. And if I hadn't found these games when I did, I don't know that I would have kept playing games. Because it was kind of in between the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation. I was still happy playing just my Super Nintendo games. And I played them all the time until I got my PlayStation. So I don't know if they hadn't done the switch up between like the kid games that I played and then the more adult games. I don't know that I would have kept playing. I think I might have just got bored and just stopped playing my video games, which is why I have my tattoo. It's a very, very special time in my life when I loved, and I still love, Resident Evil. So Resident Evil set me onto another little thing, and that was my Silent Hill stuff. Now, this game, I know I didn't get it right when it came out. I think I actually bought this from Blockbuster, to be honest. And I think I got it in a 2-pack, I think with one of my Tomb Raider games, maybe. So this one was released in 2000. I can't tell you what year that I played this. I know I played it before number 2 came out. I played it before the PlayStation 2. Because once the PlayStation 2 came out, I did play these games still. Look, there's an advertisement for Metal Gear. I know that when the PS2 came out, I still played my PlayStation 1 games, but I don't think I bought any more PlayStation 1 games. I pretty much just switched over and started focusing on the newer stuff coming out. And then these are some other games. I have the VR simulator, the VR missions, which is funny. It was not the game that I expected it to be, but I ended up playing the crap out of it too, because I'm crazy. And then I had these in order. So Resident Evil 2, or Tomb Raider 2, so funny that I still have all these. And I still love these games. Tomb Raider 3. Last Revelation. And then Chronicles, which is another cracked case. And I know I kind of went through those ones quick, but you guys don't need to see all the discs and all the books. You can tell, well, they are all in there. You can tell from the cover art that the book's there, but I do have all those games. Anyway, so my love for zombies and stuff, it's kind of died down a little bit because I started getting into other games too. There's been so much that has come out, but my Resident Evil, my Silent Hill, my Tomb Raider, my Metal Gear Solid, and I know I'm referring to all these things as mine. mine, because, you know, they were created just for me. I know I refer to them as that, but they're really personal to me. They're things that I have loved and have played so much in my life that it's never going to go away. It doesn't matter how old I get. I actually wanted the little Resident Evil, like, action figures. We got a computer, I think when I was in the 6th grade, or maybe it was the summer in between my 5th and 6th grade year when we got our first, like, desktop computer. Those big, huge monitors. So funny, too. Back when you had floppy disks. Anyways, we had one of those in our house. And I found those little Resident Evil figures. And I don't remember if I don't know what I was on or what I seen, or if it was something that I could even purchase from the computer, like off the internet back then. But I saw them. And I realized that they were something that existed. And I've actually found them on Amazon. I looked years and years and years ago. And they were like crazy, outrageous priced. But they were like a Japanese thing only. Like all of the writing was in Japanese. And I like begged my mom. I was like, I have to have these. And I think pretty much I wanted my games and stuff more. Or I always found something that I wanted more. That's probably why I never ended up with it. But anyway, I still kind of want those. I do still want those. All the little Resident Evil characters. And maybe one day I'll start collecting them. But this is so funny that I have this. I do pick up things like this. I never did get a Super Mario one. I've seen them before, I just never did. And I never opened it. It's dusty. But I actually made my own like Nuka-Colas from Fallout too. I spent a summer scratching Coca-Cola off and then printing my own labels and then sticking them on the bottles. I actually have a whole bunch of those, but yeah, my T-Virus antidote. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's an energy drink. You guys can see that. Very funny. So I've had that in my bedroom for a while. Now, something that I really love. My uncle bought this for me. I can't remember if it was a birthday or if it was a Christmas present. Now, this is from the movie, which I'm not a huge fan of. But this is a lamp. And it's a numbered item. One of the very few numbered items I have. So you guys can see the number right there. I think it says 237. 237 out of 750. I have no idea how much he spent on this. I think I did end up looking it up, but he bought one for himself too. And this has been, it was on display for a long time in my room. And then once I started getting my Funko Pops, they filled up my bedroom before I brought them up here. Because up here used to just be a big storage area. So I'm going to be kind of careful taking this out. Yeah, Hollywood Collectibles. So this is from the movie. So here it is. This is the base of it. And the sucker is pretty heavy too. And again, it's got the handwritten 237 out of 750 on it. I love this thing so much. So much. And if my uncle hadn't have bought it for me, I would not own it. It's just one of those things I would not have spent the money. This was back when my kids were really little. So I was not into spending a lot of money on myself. And I'm sure you guys have already seen these. See how shiny it is? And I think I took the batteries out when I boxed it back up because I didn't want the battery acid to like leak. Anyways, you unscrew these and you put the batteries in both sides. And like each side controls one of the coils because there's 2 coils in it. And I'm not going to put the batteries back in it because I'm just not going to do that. And they're magnetic. So they clip into place. So we have the antidote and then the actual virus. And I want to say that this one's the virus and the other one's the antidote. Because I was thinking about like the herbs. But that's a whole color thing, which I'm not going to get into that. But so here it is. This is what it looks like. And it is magnetized, but I'm not going to like flip it upside down. I don't want them to break. And these are, they might be plastic. I think the tubes are actually plastic and then the tops are metal. But yeah, I thought that was very, very cool. Very fun thing to have. So it was very nice of him to buy that for me. And then something else that I have kind of going along with like the horror theme is it's actually pretty big and it's actually pretty dusty. So I'm going to cover up our last names here with my thumb. Can I do this? So my husband wrote on the base of this. He made this for me. So it says made with love, L-U-B, that's like an inside thing, by Jonathan. And he actually wrote our last names. And then moi, and then happy 27th birthday. Love you always and forever. So like I said, this thing is dusty. I'll try to get some of it off here. This has been a centerpiece in my bedroom. I'm almost 30, so going on 3 years now. And I don't know if anybody's going to recognize this symbol. It's supposed to go like that. So there's that. Can you guys see this? You guys can see it all right. All right, now this is way too small for how big it is. All right, guys, sorry if my video just jumped a little bit. I actually just got a phone call and it interrupted my video because I'm using my cell phone. Anyways, this is the like sword that goes with it. And this is actually metal and it's not sharp. I mean, if I was to throw it hard, I might be able to get it to cut something, but it's sharper around this part right here than it is anywhere else. But yeah, it's got some cuts and some painted blood and stuff on it. And I was on Facebook a lot back when I got this, and some people got some really weird comments. I had some really weird comments to why my husband would make this for me for my birthday. And it's because I'm weird and I like it. Now, he hates the way he painted this, but really it's something that you don't really see much of on the thing. Yeah, I think he kind of just threw it together real quick. But the real piece to this whole thing, the base and this part are my favorite. And I have to be careful. This is actually barbed wire, like real sharp barbed wire. And it twisted a little bit and scared me. Anyway, it is freaking Pyramid Head. And my husband built this at work. And I love this thing so much. Like I said, it's been a centerpiece, and it's heavy too. It's all metal. It has been a centerpiece in my bedroom since he brought it home. And I'm actually getting all filthy here playing with it. But let me see if I can get it to sit so you guys can see it. Can you guys see that? So, yeah. Give you guys a little bit close up here. Oh, I just made a mess. You guys, oh, it's hard to do it from this angle. There it is. So that is what he looks like. So maybe it's weird. Maybe it's odd. Some of you guys like some scary stuff, so I thought you guys might enjoy seeing a little bit of my scary stuff. Like I said, that has been a centerpiece in my bedroom forever, for a few years now. And not a whole lot of people go into my room. It's down in the basement of my house. So people typically come over and they just stick to the main floor. They don't come up here and see all of this stuff, and they don't go down there and see all of my other stuff. But I love my things. And I know I'm laughing like I'm embarrassed, but I really do love this thing so much. So those are some of my little collections, some more for you guys to look at. And give you guys a little bit more information on who you're watching, a little bit more about my life and how I got into collecting all of this stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah. I want to go watch The Shining now. Also, kind of a horrible thing. Oh, what kind of mother are you going to think I am after hearing this? So my daughter, when she was really little, the one who's now 7, Sunny, she was old enough to walk and talk. She might have been about 2, and I might have even been pregnant with her sister at the time. But we were at the grocery store, and she popped off to the cashier working, and she puts her finger up and she goes, "Red rum." And she gave me the weirdest, like most disgusted look she could have, because I was one of those parents who let my kid watch The Shining. But she really, really wanted to watch it, and I thought she was too little to really understand it anyway. But no. Sunny is now like addicted to Chucky, and she went through a Jurassic Park phase also, where she really liked Jurassic Park. She would watch them before she'd go to bed. And I was really worried and timid about letting her watch those kinds of things, but she would beg me and beg me and beg me, and they're on Netflix, and the Jurassic Park movies we had on DVD, but the Child's Play movies we don't have. And finally I was like, fine, you watch it, you're going to be scared. And she watched it and she loves it. She actually has the Chucky Funko Pop. So anyway, my kid is following suit just a little bit. She also loves Five Nights at Freddy's. She loves that game so much. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what you guys will think about my stuff, but let me know if you guys think it's totally awesome or you think it's really stupid. If you think it's weird that somebody would want something like this for their birthday. So cool. So much cooler than anything that could have been bought. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Bye!